Bosh, good morning, everybody. We are live. We're live for the race day today at Sandown, Haydock. Haydock, and a few other places. This is a public stream, guys. So all the members that are going to be in and out later on, just remember that this is a public stream. So selections, keep them to yourselves until right at the off. But let's just move this over here. Or do it that way. Yes, yo, Dan the man, hi mate. Andrew Thompson, looking forward to this. Happy days. Happy days. Let's get cracking. We are live on YouTube. I'm just going to set up the TikTok right now very quickly. We've got our first race going off very shortly.
As far as I'm concerned.
Got it. Go live. Right, let's set that up on there. Hello. Yes, we are race day live. Right, race day afternoon, Graham. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you. Nice. First race, the Coral Charge at Sandown, 150, 5 furlongs, Group 3 race. We're going to stick this out all day. We're going to have some small bets throughout the day and small extra bets. We have our selections on live for members, so that is sorted. But we're going to have some extra few bets today to keep things flowing of interest, just for a bit of fun. But obviously our main selections are the ones that we are hoping get the job done. But if we can make some small profit along the way, have some extra bets, great. We will crack on and we will do that. Just checking the Patreon page quickly as we set up. We've got 5 minutes to go before the first race. If people are looking to ask questions, comment, please do it on the live stream or do it in the chat. That way I can crack on. Hi, Gav. Dougie, I'm out for the first 30 minutes. He's out for the first 30 minutes. Dougie said, I'm out for the first 30 minutes. Hope to join after that. Nice one, Dougie. See you soon. Gavin, hi, you mate. Hi, guys on TikTok. How the devil are we? Hope you're well. Hi, guys on the YouTube channel. Ian, nice to see you, mate. Right, let's get cracking today. Let's try and make some profit. Profit. Right, like I say, we've got our selections running for the members, but any extra bets, any extra value, extra in the place market, etc., I think we can look to exploit this afternoon and try and make an overall decent day's money. Right, so the first race, Coral Charge. Kurdos Centre Market 10-3 currently on Betfair. I'm looking at Betfair today. 4-1 Ardista. She's quality 5-1. Rumstar 6-1. Balmoral Lady 7-1. Do look Balmoral Lady, and I think she was worth a bit of an upgrade over Kurdos last time out at Royal Ascot, but she's been dealt draw 11, and that is not ideal unless Kieran Schumach can weave some magic. Queen All Star 17-2. Shagran 10-1. Westacre 16-1. Saratoga Special is friendless in the market 33-1, but is the one that I like for this. Thanks, Dan. Change things, thought it 40-1. Manakan, who made his return from a long absence at 40-1, the outsider of the field. Yeah, cheers, Dan. The TikTok. Agree. But we'll do it for both at the moment. Afternoon, Stuart. Cracking day awaits, Tom. Yes, it does. Yeah, baby. Kurdos. Ryan fancies Kurdos the first. Pretty solid. Hugo fancies Bolt Blue. Sandown Nat. Fair play. I'm on Queen All Star with Buick. Fair play. I just don't get too deeply involved in these races, these sprint races at Sandown. The members know exactly why. And it's because there's so much traffic issues on the inside rail, right? There can be so much traffic, and you can have so many hard luck stories in there. And I just think the longer distance races are best for us to be putting our cash towards. Do you miss the banter you had with Dan Barber? You worked well together. Yeah, really miss Dan Barber. I miss all the guys. I miss working with people and bouncing off people, right? It's very hard in this industry to find people that you can actually work alongside and bounce off and have a laugh, but also get a serious point across about horses. Very, very difficult. A lot of people in this game are boring as shit. You don't really want to work with them. But Dan Barber, top class. Do miss him a lot. I think he's a great lad. I miss Kevin Blake, miss all of them, miss Vanessa. But that is in the past now, guys, and we are thriving along. We'll definitely be thriving if this one goes in the first, but I'm not expecting too much here, to be honest with you. Rumstar on the snap. Shame about the price on this straight. Yeah, totally agree. I'd have a little couple of quid on her for the arc. I would if you haven't already, mate. I like West Acre, if it can replicate maiden form. Yeah, again, like you can make cases like everybody has for loads and loads of these. But again, the traffic involved, it's just, it could be a sickener, right? It can be a right sickener here at Sandown. So you've got to you got to remember that when you're betting here, you can't get too frustrated. If I fell on sprint, you're gonna come off great a lot of the time. I always look for something that's drawn low that can bounce out against the rail and make the running. But yeah, Kurdos seems very weak, really, in the market at 4-1, top of the market. No JDB, nothing today. Danny had a few beers last night for the wife's birthday. No beers right now. Maybe a bit later, but I don't think she wants me to have a beer. But yeah, look. The market doesn't really want anything in here, including ours, which is out of the 40s. But I think that's just still massive, too big of a price, really. But here we go. Then we're about to kick off first race of the day, and then we're straight over to Haydock, I believe, after this. But here we go. Well, there's not a lot of these are trying to stay off the rail, which is interesting. Go on, girl, kick on. He is fucking useless, Shane Foley. Rumstar is blistered home. Rumstar, well done. Whoever said Rumstar, no excuses for she's quality there, other than Shane Foley can't get himself organised in a saddle for some reason. She found on the first strike, and then I was open, go at her again, and he's unbalanced. This is the difference between top jockeys and shit jockeys, to be honest with you. Not that I'd like to quickly bash jockeys, but my God, Shane Foley cannot get himself organised there. That is frustrating as hell because she was well positioned throughout. Maybe did a little bit too much too soon. But Rumstar, really, really good winner there. Nothing really got into it off the pace other than Rumstar. Fair play to whoever shouted out. Was it Ollie Andrews? Well done, mate. Well done on Rumstar. Nice price there. But nothing's really getting involved in this outside of the thing. Shane Foley is just, oh my, he just cannot get himself organised at all. But I know quality, mate. Quality, but that's our big price. You know, it was a 1 point win at a big price there. We were very hopeful there, but that is what it is. Right, we're going to move on now. Nace is next, the 157. We're not going to have a play in that. We're going to look at the 205. I really fancy one in here. Had the second in the play spot. Rhiannon, well done. Well done. Hopefully that play spot continues for you, Rhiannon. Brilliant stuff. Top stuff, girl. She's in the group, Rhiannon, and she is a brilliant addition to the group. She is Is it okay to share the YouTube link for the watch on my friend? Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, mate. It's public. Yeah, of course you can, Colm. Please do share the link if you want to. But yes, look, it was a big price that we were hoping for, right, in Saratoga special. But it didn't happen for us today, did it? Hello, I'm from the Philippines. Hiya. I think Donicus 2 running for the same owners have a cracking chance at Nace. Okay, then, Manx, let's watch it, shall we? Let's have a little watch over at Nace. Keep us ticking along. I'm not going to be having a personal bet in here. Manx likes Mount Vista, which is currently Fav 11-4. Donica's got another one in there, Simmering Seas as well. Thank you very much for the follows. Really appreciate it. We are looking at Nace. We're watching Nace now. It's nothing. I've got no real opinion here. Bora Shamandi. Why did you leave the bet fair? Let go, mate. Let go from Betfair. So that's it. That's it. No reason at all. Discussed this plenty of times on different streams and podcasts. But yes, no real strong opinion from me over here at Nace. I don't really bet in Ireland until it comes to the jumps. What's your nap of the day, bud? I can't reveal that, unfortunately, Anthony, because we do have paying members that deserve to have that. I will tell you a minute or two before the off, because I think that's the fair way to do it, right? Providing obviously members have got the prices, etc. and stuff. So, but no luck with our first Saratoga special. But we took a punt there. We took a bit of a punt with a nice horse, a horse that I quite like. I do think there's more to come from that filly. I just didn't really like the way she was ridden there. I didn't. Fleur de Rose is my preference. No prob. Thank you for being understanding, Nancy. Appreciate it. Ombudsman looks very, very well last time out. Yeah, he's a top class horse, like a proper top class horse. I can't believe so many people want to take him on today. I find that insane. Hi, Jalise. I think that's insane. What does everybody think about Ombudsman's Day? Let me know. I find it insane that a lot of people want to take him on. So I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Oh, Borat is I think he's a bit of a troll, is he? I was waiting for Age for Room and still smoked him. I think he would have won by about fucking 8 lengths if he'd got the gaps. Super boosted 365. Always stay away from Denny's boost. Yeah, they also boosted our Max Bet Archivist last week, and they were punished by members, which was a great result. Sky off 11-5 too. Yeah, I know they're trying to give him away, but I'll tell you what, I wouldn't worry because there's so many people that want to be against him, so many people prominent in the industry that want to be against him, and they've got no real reason why. Makes me laugh. Makes me laugh. So we've got a decent bet in the next Haydock for members. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him run. I think he's got a massive chance. Hope everyone's well. Saturday racing. It's Saturday racing. It's a watch along, guys. We're going to be having a few bets throughout the afternoon on different types of markets. Just very small bets, just to keep keep everybody interested. Try and exploit some angles closer to the race time. Do you have an online work where I can help you in freelance basis? Not at the moment, Mohammed, I'm afraid. I always think there's a big draw bias at certain eights, and I still don't think it's ever been cottoned onto. I think you've got to be stand side. They're going fairly quick here, those two. Interesting. Halfway stage, they're doing 42 mile an hour. Looks like it could be Cactus here. Cactus definitely got got one coming down the stand side. Look at this finish. Woo! By the Lake for Joe Lyons is a winning debutante there with the runner up coming from a mile back on this stand side. But against draw bias, could be a nice horse there. Could be a nice horse there. Dan, would you ever look at bringing guest tipsters for the weekend festival such as Dan Barber? Yeah, I'm probably going to be looking at doing something like that once we've established the business long enough and we're in the jump season. And once we're in a jump season, mate, yeah, we'll be looking at doing something like that. But obviously, all that sort of thing costs money, right? So it's about getting the business in a place where I know it's going to be sustainable over time, and then I can start putting even more. I mean, we're investing back a few grand a month already in the business at the moment, but can't wait for the jump. Yeah, me either, Dan. But then we are need to get into a place where we can invest more back into it. Okay, so but in case it's baby steps at the moment, it's only been 3 months. I think where we've got it right now is a good place. I think the people in there are unbelievable, unbelievably positive, unbelievably good people. So I'm very happy to sort of the clientele that we've attracted. And yeah, so if this can continue the way it is, then yes, we'll look at start getting some guests on and stuff like that. Maybe be doing that on the free one more as opposed to sort of the members one because you know I don't want members to be thinking about other people's opinions when I feel so strongly about certain things. So maybe that'll be the free podcast side of things. Blue Bolt Ombudsman double. Yeah, I wouldn't put you off. I think Supermodel's coming for a lot of money though for William Haggish. He's a nice horse. Blue Bolt was a lovely, lovely horse. Fancy Way of Stars at Haydock. Heavy money on Valiancy though. Yes, Way of Stars is interesting for Andrew Bolden. However, I do think if this Valiancy is not better than a mark of 80, I'll be absolutely flabbergasted, to be quite honest with you. I would be absolutely flabbergasted. I think this is their Melrose horse for down the line. And I think they quite like it. So I think he's the one to be with personally. Yeah, a couple of minutes to the off before we see Valiancy run. Was I'm in an with him whether or not he was going to be a 2-point win or what. But such as the selections today, the number of selections today, we've just tried to keep it down a bit. But I'd be very surprised if this wasn't better than an opening mark of 80. They brought him along really nicely. Did you tip him up early? Yes. What did I get yesterday? What did we get? I don't tip to best prices, so I wouldn't have tipped the best price out there. I would have tipped the general price, and I'm pretty certain that was around 7-2. Let's have a look. Seven to two was the tip yesterday for Valiancy. I just cannot believe that he's not better than Mark 80. Very, very well bet. I've gone in a little bit more again as well. Oh, James has just he's gone in again as well, Valiancy. I think he's going to love the step up and trip. He's going to love the easier going. He's just a really nice horse, I think, going forward. He's surely better than 80. Surely better than 80. There's no doubt about it. The form horse in the race for me is Many Men. I made that very clear to members with that formula on that Tarshroom Merchant and a few others. But for me, Valiancy is just too well handicapped. Many Men, yeah, I think he's a good horse. I do. He's got the like I say, he's got the fight, he's got the form in the book. We could easily, if you wanted to, stick many men in the place bet here. He's 10 to 11, and I know that's quite short, but hard to see how he's going to be out of the three, in my opinion. So maybe that's the angle. If you wanted another bet in here, you can look in the bet without market. Many men is 11 to 4 without. I do think potentially that is your forecast, and I know it's at the top of the market, but I do think the market has finally got this race right. So potential angles there, maybe forecasting, maybe without. Depends what you want to do. Depends how much you're betting. Depends on what sort of price you're looking for. But in the place market would be the way I would like to go. Personally, 10 to 11, I think would be a fair bet at placing in the top three for many men, who, like I say, is the form horse in the race. So we'll have a small bet there. Small £50 bet there at many men in the place market, three places, 10 to 11. I think that's a fair shout. But Valiancy, I certainly feel, is the horse that is the best handicapped horse potentially in the race. The mile 6 is definitely going to bring out that improvement, I think, as well. So, yeah, fascinating little race. Fascinating little race. Plenty of little angles if you wanted to have a look at it and get stuck in this. As for those at much bigger prices in the field, Prince of the Seas, I think, will appreciate the step up and trip. He's Rihanna's put Val and a lucky 63. Yeah, fair play. You can look for doubles and trebles and whatnot with some of these horses. I think, like I say, as at a bigger price, Prince of the Seas is interested to step up and trip. He definitely looks like he wants to step up and trip. This could really suit him. Having run over a mile 4 at Lingfield last time, these are quite sharp tracks, but he won at Sandown. That's a stiff finish. That was a stiff mile, but he could be there or thereabouts. Right, we're about to kick on. We're about to kick on. Fair play, Ian, but I hope you're bloody wrong. Here we go then. The Haydock 205 is kicking off. Come on, Valiant. Valiant. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, he's missing the break. It's out of the rear of the field at the minute. Slight miss of the break. Oh, many men just slipped on the bend there. This happened in this race last year. He's a lovely striding looking horse, though, this Valiant. You got the leader hanging off the bend here. Looks bloody awkward. They're not going quick here. They're not going quick here. I think Harry's just noticing that now because he's just nudged past Prince of the Seas. The Pride of the Seas. It's not ideal. He's not ideally positioned. But we do have a decent home straight here. They've not gone quick here at all. He's going to have to start making a move. We've got 4 furlongs. Come on, Harry, get after him. Come on, get after him, Harry. You fucker. For fuck's sake. Fucking slow pace. Slow pace. Fucking shit race. Oh, you little bastard. Jesus Christ. Bloody unbelievable. Held up at the rear of the field, slow pace. That is just frustrating as hell. Frustrating as hell, that is, because I think he's come out the best horse of the race there. Well, not necessarily a strange ride. He's just not bloody. He's been held up at the rear of the field, and he's just not had the gallop to go at. Yeah, look, guys, to members in the group, right, you've got to start calming down. Not every horse is going to win, right? And not every jockey is riding the shit race. There was absolutely no pace in that race. They were doing 14 plus seconds per furlong. They were running at 32 miles an hour. Right, we're moving on now. We've got to move on. You can be pissed off, you can be frustrated for once or twice, but then you've got to move on, right? How can I never ride a race? How can I never ride it? It's had no chance in the start. Well, it's the pace of the race, right? The pace of the race is very, very important when you're held up at the rear of the field like that. Right, I've got to just inbox a member at the moment because it's getting a bit much. So 1 second. He's been warned before, so we won't have any negativity in the group. We're not having people saying, you know, you can be frustrated, but you've got to look at the bloody bigger picture sometimes, and it's frustrating when people don't. Thoughts on Ombudsman? I think he's a good thing today. I think he will win. I think he's brilliant. I think he's top class. I think he's the best horse in training at the moment. And I'm hoping that he'll win that, and he'll win and he'll go and win the Arc personally. But yeah. But that is frustrating. But that's the thing, right? You can't do no more sometimes than offer someone a 7-2 about a 9-4 shot, and you know, undoubtedly James is bang on. The sections will come out and show he's the best horse, and he'll go off favourite next race. That is exactly right. Sometimes that happens, right? You can't just be getting so annoyed like that. Right, over to YouTube. Aye, Dave. Cheltenham, how are you, mate? I love that you do watch alongs. Literally, nobody does this in the scene. Thanks, mate. Thanks, Alex. Everyone giving Dave the attention that he craves. Dave, I've got a question for you. Oh, God. Saratoga's fucked. It's time to chase before the wife leaves me. You're the only one playing with the balls on the lawn. IDC, shall I have 20 grand on Ombudsman? You like it? I mean, I don't know your financial situation, so I'd never comment on people, how much people should be betting, mate. That's nothing to do with me. I got forwards, Valency, no bet for me. If I was to be on one, it'd be Way of the Stars. Awful ride that. It's not necessarily. I suppose you can argue that it was an awful ride, right? You can argue that it was an awful ride, but you can argue that it was an awful ride, or you can argue he's had no pace to aim at whatsoever. Maybe he should have moved earlier. Maybe he should have recognised that at the rear of the field rather than just trying to go and pick them up. He should have recognised that mid part of the race. But ultimately, that is flat racing. You rely an awful lot on the pace of the race, and it didn't help that he broke slowly because I don't think that's where they would have wanted him positioned either. So I just think you've got to take a few things into consideration when you're when you're thinking about, you know, before you're copping or you're going nuts about something, because, you know, he is one in the bank. Like you always learn from every race, okay? So every single race you will learn something from, or you should be learning something from. Hi, Digger. Nice to see you, mate. Thanks. But every single race, right, you should be learning something from. If you don't, why would you get so... Like, for me, I'd look at that race and go, yeah, fuck's that, I'm pissed off. 10 minutes, be pissed off. That's it. Then afterwards, I would look back at the race and go, right, I think that's one in the bank there because the slow pace. He will probably be favourite for his next race, but he'll probably be slightly underestimated in the market, given how well he's done to come from the rear of the field and still finish third. Look, you have to be positive and you have to put one in the bank and you have to do these things to keep moving forward. There's no point you're sitting there getting pissed off about a loser all the time. You ain't going to do yourself no favours, are you? So there's lots of things for certain people to learn. Yeah, he did do really well to finish where he did, Michael. Yes, you bang on. Treasure time up next for us at Haydock. Oh, and then it's like they didn't want him to win. Oh, don't be stupid. You started with a good... Michael started with a good comment and then ended with a poor one. Fuel ones in the bank. Do you keep a spreadsheet or something? Use at the races. So on the service we do, I catch a column for the week. I'll make notes on my tracker, which is on the Racing Post. And yeah, that's so kind of both. Yeah, kind of a bit of both. Back over to YouTube. I think it should have. Yeah, I bang on. I agree. Like he should have gone. He should have probably recognised. Right, a good jockey can recognise the pace of a race, and then you'd like to think that they would manoeuvre themselves after that. Now, obviously, he didn't want to rush the horse for whatever reason, but maybe Harry Davies didn't recognise the slow pace. I don't know how he didn't, because it was ridiculously slowly run and dictated to, and therefore you can say that was a bad ride, yes. But the horse didn't have the pace of the race to aim at, essentially, and it was obviously a very, very strong stayer, right? So that's something we put in the bank. And we say, right, we know that we've taken that information away from that. Yes, we may have had a point loss on the selection, but we've taken something away from it. There's nothing worse than you know, being beaten when everything's gone well for you. But if right, just back to the racing. We are next up is Sandown. Now, everybody and their dogs seem to fancy Glee Calder today on the line. Tribal Chief is a non-runner. Just to let everybody know, make everybody aware. Tribal Chief is a non-runner. Are you talking about Valency? Yes, Dylan. Sorry, we're talking about Valency. Classic Encounters shouldn't be good enough to be. If Classic Encounters winning this, it'd be very, very disappointing, I think. But Mark, yeah, you're sorry, Mark. Back to you. You're bang on. You're bang on, really, on both accounts. But we are waiting for Sandown, the 225. What a day I'm having. I'm having. Check the chat. Fair play. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Richard Hannon's classic. Yeah, he's just a bit of a dog, though. Like, he's a bit of a dog. Sean Levy will have his work cut out. He does like Sandown, but he is quite capable of throwing it away. I think Galeron is interesting at a big price, but I'm really hoping that Treasure Time is fit and well enough to do himself justice, because Tom Marquand, like I said, could have gone and ridden Valency over at Haydock, but he's here today at Sandown. So fingers crossed. He is fit and well to do himself justice today, because he's got a good draw in stall one. He's likely to push forward, and I think he'll go very, very well today. I'm on Greek order at 13-2 and classic account 5, both each way 4 places. Yeah, don't nothing wrong with trying to take advantage of the 4 places in this race. I do just think Greek order is very much a horse with a ceiling to his ability, which is why Judgment got rid of him. And personally, I know he's won at Sandown, but I just think he needs plenty to go his way. Haggis, a no-show in a previous race. Good luck. Thank you very much, Drew Starr. I know that was sarcastic. How can you still back Polestar on the? How come you can still back Polestar on the exchange, Daryl? Is the exchange market having a little bit of a blip? Is it? Oh. 1.13. I don't know. It's a steward's inquiry, Dougie said. So, steward's inquiry into that. So, they're betting on the steward's inquiry. That's exactly right. Well done, Dougie. Well spotted, mate. Eclipse terrible for betting purposes. I don't agree with that, Drew. I wouldn't agree with that, my friend. Good luck today. Always watch yourself in the channel, Bental. Honest opinions. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for watching, Richard. Really appreciate it, mate. Dave seems to have nothing to do with his day today, so he looks like he's in the live chat. He didn't answer the phone to me earlier, though, so he must be busy. Right, let's take a look at this Sandown market, the 225. 4 minutes to go before the race is off. The Coral Challenge. There is plenty of little angles you could take into this. Treasure Time's a little bit weak now. He's out to 4-1. I suppose that's a concern, considering he is making his seasonal return. How can we profit from this? Well, you want to be looking at something that's going to be on the place. I might have a look in the place market for Galeron. I do think he's been running better than the Bear Result on a couple of occasions this time. He's around 4-1 on the place market only. So maybe a small bet on that there. I think he's a very good horse. Colin King takes the ride as well for Charles Hills. Greek Order is obviously a very popular horse today amongst people on the social media channels. That's always a slight concern for me personally. I don't like it when a horse is being really well touted. I think particularly from people that sort of you kind of like raise your eyebrows at, but he may well win. He's pretty solid. Ryan Moore's got in the saddle for Michael Bell. Royale #1 for Ian Gillan. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. It was a rapid improver last season. but not a crap deal. Mhm. He's out to 9-1, 9-2. Jesus, 9-1. 5-1 now. So he is having a drift. He is having a drift. Treasure time. Maybe today's not the day. Maybe he's looking at something at Goodwood. Maybe the celebration mile or the mile handicap rather. But yeah, we can only hope. We can only hope that the market's got him wrong. But nothing really fancied in this market towards the top. Just circling behind the stalls currently. Circling behind the stalls. Got a little bit of a lag here. Hold on. Thanks, Digger, for coming on board. Remember, most fun, mate. Dave, how are you, mate? Yeah, good, mate. How are you? How are you? Will you be watching ITV with your mate Luke? He's a weasel, isn't he? Absolute weasels. This is looking quite wide open. Glare on in the place market, as I say, is might be worth a small interest at 4-1. Yeah, I agree, Dave. I agree. Here we go. We are off and flying. He's taking the wide route here. Oh, oh, good lag. He needs to get a gap. Get out. Get out. What a mark one. Fuck that up. Another loser. Another loser. We are not doing very well today at this moment in time, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Treasure time, no good there. Did we back the winner last time out? Oh well, the one thing that classic looks straightforward horse. Yeah, wow. He never has been the most straightforward horse previously, but you're right there. Straight from the front seemed to have suited him, didn't it? Right. I'm unfortunately going to have to remove somebody from the group today because I'm going to have to remove somebody from the group here. Unfortunately, it's been a lifetime member. I'm going to be removing someone from the group because we're just not having people like trying to goad people and like saying anything. You know, I think that is yeah, as you can absolutely tell. The fact that people can tell, Dan, you can tell exactly who it is straight away is the reason why they're going to be going. I'm afraid. So we're not having. I'm not having it. It's constantly. He's been reminded constantly um, about the shit he writes. So it's the constant. It's the constant liking it, you know when like people someone does write a frustrating comment and then people constantly like love it or like it or whatever, like just to show that they're being idiots. So yeah, like I think it's not it's a space where we want to keep it positive for people, and not have I'm just not going to stand for any nonsense in there. If you can't understand that this is a long-term betting game, then well, there's no need to be in there, is there? But that is it. But no luck thus far for us on the service today. But that's part and parcel of it, right? You're seeing it firsthand exactly what it is. Yes, there's a lot of people that expect to win every single bet. So we just need to. We're trying to, change people's thinking, right? So part of the service and the betting education side of things is about changing people's thinking, having a long-term prospect. Nothing wrong with people airing frustrations about selections or whatnot. But when it's on the back of a plus 37-point month and a plus 40-point month, and the fact that we're in profit before today, I think it's just unnecessary sometimes to see that sort of thing going on in the group. So, yeah, no damage done. 2 plays someone. Yeah, fair play. Well played, Alex. Nice one, mate. Yeah, I agree, Mick. Yeah. Sorry, see what I mean? I'm getting some members now that are direct messaging me right now saying about certain comments on the chat rooms and stuff like that, which is it affects everybody. It doesn't just affect me, it affects a lot of people. And people feel the need to direct message me about certain comments, and that's just not on. So if you know anything continues like that, it's just ridiculous, to be honest. So yeah. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, but you've got to keep it positive for people. Like, this is supposed to be a safe place for people. We're going to have losing days, but yes, a lot of people do. People can expect the same with football acts, mate. Like, I can predict a 67-minute red card. Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts, but it's about trying to change people's thinking about how they think about this sort of thing. It is. You have to broaden your mind. You almost have to put your bets on and stuff, and just sort of. It is what it is. Do you get what I mean? But hopefully we'll turn it around today. Anyway, but we'll see what's happening. 5 minutes till the next at Haydock, which is strange running. I don't think there's any sort of bet in there personally. I just couldn't see anything. I actually would consider being against Scenic. Maybe looking at the Henry de Bromhead Nuit without, because I think Scenic is a horse that loves York. And in the without market, you can get 10-3 on Nuit for Henry de Bromhead. I don't think that horse has come over for the sake of it, if you like. So it would be. Yeah, and like I say, like we again, people are getting sort of frustrated, which is absolutely fine. No problem at all being frustrated about certain selections. But to put it into perspective, we've had 3 1-point selections win, and we've got our 3 strongest bets to come. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm a little bit sensitive, but maybe I need a bit thicker skin. Right, over to YouTube. Any punt of those that are 10% ROA a year is more than acceptable and is the benchmark. Well, currently, Jack, we're operating at 30%. So, yeah, I totally, absolutely agree. And that's exactly what I say to people is 10% every year. And that's exactly it. But it's managing people's expectations, right? And changing people's thinking, which is the most difficult thing, but is the most rewarding part of it, I suppose. You're new to this question mark, like the social media side of things. No, well, not new to this. No, I was with Betfair for the last few years as their lead tipster. I've been in the game for 5 years, and no, so I'm not new to this. But like TikTok is something that I've not really explored. So I suppose I'm new to TikTok, if you like, but it's not something I'm brand new to. But yeah, no, new to starting a service. Because I only started 3 months ago. James II, next. Nice. I find people online like being confrontational without the fear of direct confrontation. Yeah, I totally agree. I don't mind direct confrontation. That's absolutely no problem to me. But as long as your point is valid, that would be my personal view. I don't mind confrontation at all, just as long as people have got a valid point. But you can't argue with idiots. So I really like this Australian. I think she's a class act. So fingers crossed that she's going to go and get the job done here. What's the name of the Patreon, mate? Is there a link? It's actually the title of this video, but I don't, like I say, I'm quite new to TikTok, so I don't know if you can see the title of the video. The name of the Patreon is Daryl Carter Racing. So www.patreon.com/Daryl Carter Racing. Who's your favourite racing pundit? Me. I've worked very closely with the likes of Kevin Blake and Dan Barber, and I love the pair of them. So probably one of those. One of those two. The Dixon boys are brilliant. I know both of them, and they're brilliant guys. They know exactly what they're talking about. Right, let's hope this Newit can get up here under Hexter Crouch and get into second place. Overseen it because I feel like we've got a bit of a match bet going on in this. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. This love talk's not going to hang around here. Not going to hang around at all. This love talk. I suppose they're probably thinking the only way we can win is probably just to go and try and dictate, kick clear, try and dictate, and then and make them chase me, which is a very fair tactic. Look at this beer turn up. What I quite like here about our bet in the without market is that we're going to be last to challenge. I don't mind that. Because a strange, I thought seeing it would have to go and play her hand against a strange. Right, I've called that wrong at all. Jesus. Jesus, I ain't calling anything right today. Last and fourth. Well, some things you have to do this. Sometimes you have to do this. Alex Shamer, you have to think long term, betting short term pain is something every punter will go through. Not to be emotional and accept losing runs. You're doing the right things and beating bet for SP. Hello, Lisa. Yeah, he's Bang on there. Nap to come. I think Betfair's having a bit of a muddling time of things. Blue Bolt set to run next. I'm just going to watch the race. I do like Blue Bolt. We did tip her against Consecrated at Newbury last time, and she's done the job very, very nicely. However, there's just been a lot of market support here for this Haggis horse, and I just want to see how it pans out, really, especially the way things have gone at this moment in time. Yeah, it was a muddling enough race, wasn't it? I'm all over Cajole next at Sandown. Fair enough. Good, I left the links job done. Yeah. A bit frustrating today, isn't it, so far? But hopefully we can turn it around. Mark Larson in the group just says, it's one of them days, DC. I just opened a can of beer before I took a swallow. Wasp decided to pop in for a swim. First can as well. That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Waiting on Ombudsman. Two bigs bets the next 30 minutes, though. Yeah, exactly, Stewie. Waiting on Ombudsman. Blue Bolt going to fly. Darren, advice for someone who's down a lot over the past 2 years and how to come back. Okay. This is interesting, Jude. I'd have to look at why you're down. Is it your own personal betting? Have you been following somebody, or that sort of thing? But the way I would do things is I would walk away from the racing for a bit, get your betting bank together, and then return when you feel you've got 200 points in the bank. I would then go back at the date. You should have recorded data of what you've lost over the last year. Look at what you've done wrong through the data, and then take it from there. I'd have to have a look at what you were betting on, sort of thing. Personally, for me, I use the data that I've recorded over a long period of time to adapt things every single year. So at the moment, for example, I only bet class 3 and above. That's something that the data told me to do. And there's other bits and pieces that literally just recording data will help you and tell you what you're doing wrong. January, February, March, April, May, I'd be yours. Look at it. Look at it, mate. Excuse me. We have detected inactivity during your current live. Oh, you got to do this little picture thing. Cool. God, some people. We looked at Deauville, posted a couple couple in the group earlier. What's your opinion? I haven't looked. I must have missed that, Stewie, mate. Do you not show your races live and give us tips on here, then VIP horses in the group? No, mate. Nope. Everything is done through the group. Everything is done with members in mind. There's no, like I say, there's no like tiers, for example, that I'm going to give certain tips on here, free tips on here, because I'm just not going to do that. You go and follow someone that wants to like give you freebies or stuff like that. I don't know. It's not the way I do things. The work I do is too valuable just to be given out for free, mate. Are you still big fan of? You're still a big fan of Bombers, even with a super boost on them? Yeah, definitely. No winners today so far, Shane, mate. We're having a bit of a mare, to be honest, buddy. But we've got some better bets to come at the moment. Who you got this? Is it not that live? Fair enough. What does that mean? Is it not that live? Right, let me just check this. Excuse me. Fucking hell. Oh. Oh, where the fuck has this come from? Jesus. Pledge to Harvard wins. No, back that up. We were with that at York. It had every chance at York. Gutted about TT round when a big Frotman seeing noise best there. Oh, Jesus Christ. There's something going on with my nose, I think. 3 o'clock Sandown is going to be very interesting to watch. Supermodel easing a little bit now in the market, having been really well supported. I think opened up at like 12s or 14s. Now into 11 and 4. I probably should say, actually, because seems I'm doing this live, if anybody does want to join the group, it is £26 per month. It is www.patreon.com/Daryl Carter Racing. There's a bustling chat on there, 8 communities, lots of really nice people that you can share thoughts with. There's place for you to put your own selections. We do loads of stuff, from the Be Lucky podcast to daily tips to betting education series to live streams like this to members check-ins. You're constantly in contact with me 24/7 throughout the chat or via DM for personal stuff. And we've got the dog group on there, which is absolutely fucking flying. Dave Young is running the dog group. Brilliant guy. You've got Billy in there as well, who's a great judge of dogs. Yeah, just like that's part of your £26 a month. There's no tier system on Daryl Carter Racing. Everybody gets the same thing. But if you are with me for 3 months before September, you will get early access to Cheltenham content. So the lifetime membership in the thing will have to read a certain amount, and you will get selected as early viewing for Cheltenham. Thanks, Dan. Why does Wootton Bassett produce so many good horses? Don't know. I think that as well, Dylan. I like Wootton Bassett as a sire. Oh, right. What's Blue Bolt doing on the exchange? Let's have a look. Blue Bolt is a little bit weak exchange. 3.5 supermodel 3.9. They do like this supermodel. But we'll see what happens. Miss Tonnier, supermodel. I've been on it. No bet for me. Blue Bolt for the bacon. Fair enough. Blue Bolt for the bacon. I think she's a lovely horse. I do think she's a really, really nice horse. But there's a few nice ones in there. Sandown tricky track as well to have a real confident selection because the pace of the race makes such a difference. But took a chance, blew up myself early. Myself thought 11-4 earlier was value. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I do. Yeah, she's gonna definitely go a favourite in my opinion. She's currently between 12 to 5, 5 to 2 on the exchange. Jesus. Oh man. We got 50 people in it. 54 people in the live. Thank you so much. 56 people. Thank you. Thank you. It's well worth doing these lives, isn't it? It's not something I normally I'm not accustomed to it, if you like. Cajole shortened a fair bit too. Yeah, Cajole 4.4 in the betting on the exchange with 6 minutes to run. The bet view is currently at bet view should be at 50 quid. 3.5. 335 Sandown Dave winner. That's what happens with good content, mate. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, so if you want to join the Patreon page, please feel free to come and have a look. www.patreon.com/Daryl Carter Racing. Great community of people in there, which is, I think, is great because, you know, a lot of people in horse racing don't really have friends that they can discuss horses with, and this has become a great page to do that with. Who do I think will win the 335? I know who will win the 335, buddy. Your man. Still, look, we're holding 50 odd people in there. That's insane to me. That's absolutely insane. Jeez, this is only like I've only done like a few of these lives, and I was having like 3 or 4 people. But this is insane. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we're doing all right on YouTube as well, holding at 25. But we're all waiting for the big one, right? We're all waiting for the big one. And when we win the big one, we'll be fucking celebrating. How will Cheltenham content work with those 3 months membership, mate? It'll just be a case of me I've got to look into it very soon. It'll be a case of me either pulling people out and putting them under a different banner, or I'll tell you what it'll be. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to be closing the Daryl Carter Loyalty Club. Soon, very soon, July. It's July now. July, August, September. So yeah, it'll be closed at the end of this month. The Loyalty Club will close, and another tier will open. Same price, but the people joining just won't be able to get into the Cheltenham content. Does that make sense? Or they will be able to get the Cheltenham content, but they will just receive it an hour later than everybody else. Does that make sense? Sorry, I'm getting confused. So yeah, that's the plan with the Cheltenham stuff, because it's so valuable, and I'm not going to be charging people through the roof, to come on for Cheltenham and all that sort of stuff. Not usually one of backstories. Did you see Keenan publish yesterday? Yeah, I did, mate. Yeah, like he's so in and out, isn't he? It's difficult to really give him credit, really, and then he'll give you a really good ride. The DC Express has been flying on ever since Nürburgring broke your heart at Ascot. Yeah, very true. Very true. Why'd you have to bring that back up, Mark? If you're classic, the ultimate cliff horse experience, Baz bang on there on TikTok. Yeah, absolutely bang on. If you are interested in joining the service, or you're not sure about it and you want to ask any questions, I think my message request things are always open. So just drop us a message and ask a question. But the classic cliff horse. Don't know why people keep going on about publish. Gosden and Judmont will be delighted educational, because They may be delighted, but the punters ain't fucking delighted, Joe. But I can see what you're saying, and like I say, like that publish should be one in the bank, right? One in the bank, in the back pocket for later down the line. Right, let's flick on to the. It looks like Blue Bolt is hardening up in the market now. 3.25 on the Betfair Exchange. Supermodel 4.0. It's going to be a good battle, I think, between them. But I do think that Blue Bolt is a horse that will just come out on top here. But we'll see what happens. A little bit of support before the off. Into 15 to 8 on the sports book. Nothing wrong, Dan, with taking chance on anything at sort of 33, isn't it? Especially anti you know. Thanks, John, for the follow. Appreciate it, mate. Blue Bolt for the bacon, Lewis. Go on, Blue Bolt. 3.2 on the exchange. It looks like Blue Bolt is going to go off. She's a really nice moving horse, this Blue Bolt, as well. I like the way that Colin's not messing about here. Control looks a little bit awkward to me. Tom Marquardt's going to track through this Blue Bolt and see what happens with Supermodel, but I see them battling out. But Blue Bolt currently taking the lead. I don't think the Supermodel's travelling all that well. This Tonnerre travelling well. The leader's travelling well. But it's the undulations here at Sandown that they need to be able to kick off, and they can get a little bit unbalanced. She has quickened up quite nicely there. Yeah, she's done the job, I think. Has she done the job? Yeah, she's got the job done. She's got the job done there. She has got the job done quite nicely there. She is tough. I think the undulations at Sandown, yeah, it was a really good ride. It was because the undulations at Sandown are so difficult to pick off from the front. Unless you can ride the undulations, which Colin Keaton seems to have found the trick to now. He might be a good jockey to be with at Sandown now after that. Can't believe how much behind the ITV live feed is compared to racing TV. Yeah, kept far. This is an unreal best I've ever done him. Well done, Ian. What was that? Just had an application. Was Blue Bowl too short for a selection? I would, to be honest with you, mate. Dougie. I was just. I've got a little bit of a problem really when it comes to backing last time out winners. I don't know why I do it. Um, but at the time when I was looking to put her up or looking to put the column out, she was around what sort of 7-4, 1-2-6-4, something like that, or 13-8, or whatever she was. But yeah, she was slightly too short, and I was kind of like with the selections that I'd already put out in the column. I was kind of like, how is this going to work with the return of investment? How is this going to work with sort of clawing back our money given the time she was racing? So there's lots of different factors that go into it. But I do have a little bit of an issue. I thought we got some really good value on her last time, and I kind of didn't really want to throw that value away next time out, if that makes sense, by hitting a loser. But yeah, but she's obviously drifted in the market and come back in a little bit. So yeah, I hope that explains it. It's just a bit of self politics, really, to be honest with you. Yeah, Mick's bang on as well. Another jockey's allowed to do what he likes from the front. Yeah, it's like that's the thing as well. Like there was plenty of pace on the race, and not guaranteed to get the run of the race, Blue Bolt, but that was allowed to do her own thing. I'd say she might just be a little bit vulnerable next time. Personally, I think the way that Cajole was rolling along and rolling around, I'd say she might get the better of her next time over a stiffer test when the pace is stronger. What we got up next? We're at Haydock again now, aren't we, for our nap? The 3:15, the Napo. It's going to be a good race, this. Just don't Paul Milner and fuck it up. 6 places on offer in this race. So if you wanted to have a little play around in the place market or in the each way market, probably a decent race to do it. Box to box, Jordan Stall 16. Likes Haydock, could go well. Enemy could go well at a massive price. I do think there's a few of these, though, that are a little bit vulnerable, to be honest. 2 points on the nap today. Yeah, but it would really piss me off, Stewie, if William Buick decides to try and. I hate it when jockeys try to replicate tactics. If he drops him out, I'd be fucking fuming because it's not how he wants. He doesn't need to be ridden like that. He's won from the front. He's won sitting off a slow pace in France. He's won coming off a fast pace. He just needs to be sat in box seat. If he can get him in box seat, it doesn't need to drop him out. And if William Buick does that, it will fucking annoy me. I can tell you that much. It will annoy me. Yeah, it will bug me if they do that with them, but because you've got to you cannot honestly fucking try and replicate tactics. Oh, the doggo wants to come in. 2 seconds. Hello, Em. Hello, baby. Right, we've got 6 minutes until we go off. Oh, I missed some stuff here. Yeah, Delacroix will sit there and try and make it, but Delacroix has won his races by turning them into a sprint. And if they allow him to do that, it's just an absolute farce. If Sossi's in front, last bend, Sossi won't be caught. Like he's not, form's not good enough. Form is not good enough, in my opinion. But again, I've called everything wrong today, though. The Nap runs, Adam, in this race. The Nap today runs in the Old Newton Cup. Fingers crossed he can go well. Minstrel Knight is probably the horse I would look in the place market with for, but he can be a little bit of a donut. He does want softer ground. He probably does want a mile 6, but he is an interesting runner because he's probably going to be ridden fairly handy. So I think if you can get sort of, he is 6 to 4 places. Yeah, it's a bit tight, isn't it? It's a bit tight. Nah, no beers today, Stewie, mate. Although I feel like I fucking need one at the minute. That reminds me, they're paying 6 for the odds. Ugh. Oh, 6 for the. What? 6 Betfair. They are 6 for the odds. What the fuck? That's why when I just said, "Oh, Jesus Christ, the place market's a bit tricky, or a bit short," but that's because they're paying 6 for the odds on the fucking What the fuck? Yeah, I think so, Michael. But again, like his last 2 wins in Group 1 company, he beat Mappa Stars by a net, Carl. Ombudsman has smashed Mappa Stars 4 times. Yes, he got up to beat Sardinian Warrior in the closing stages, but Sardinian Warrior is like a pure miler. That was over a mile 1. I think your lad wants a mile 4. I think he wants soft ground. Last year he was outpaced in the Prix de Jockey Club over a mile 2 on heavy ground. I'm not sure he's going to have a good to firm fast ground over 10 furlongs from it. I'm not sure. I know that they were trying. They said they were trying him out. The Nap, yeah, he does have. Yeah, he does. That's true. But I just think I'm not necessarily think the ground's a problem, but I think the ground and the combination of the trip on a round course like Sandown will be an issue because you do need to be able to quicken at Sandown, and I'm just not sure he's kind of that horse. That would just be my personal opinion. I've had this all going to try about Delacroix, Camille Passaro, and Ombudsman. Fair, mate. Yeah, they could make it very tactical, couldn't they? The Ballydoyle team could make it very tactical. That would be that would not be very pleasant to watch, I don't think. I'm the nap I'm on in here. We're on at 5-1, and that is Solari's pass. Who I think, if he's as long as he's ridden forward and he's not being asked to fucking do tons from the rear field, I think he's a well handicapped horse on the upgrade who's going to improve for the move up in trip. So big cross would bang on with this one. Really, Ryan? Mm. He has been solid. Let's hope we're right. Here we go, then. We're going. We're kicking off. A minute past post time. Bit of lag again. Not sure he's going to stay. Sit here, the light person. Jesus, 15's late. And well done. Bit of lag again. Fuck's sake! Fucking back that piece of shit last time. Fucking hell. Oh, fucking hell. I give up the date. fucking back that piece of shit last time, and he didn't fucking do anything. Oh.